Listen to this. This is good. I think the Polish dads understand what I'm about to read. It's talking about basically how popular piety and devotion after Vatican II crashed almost everywhere on earth. One of those devotions was the rosary, and in particular, that affects families and dads. Listen to this. This is Tim O'Sullivan. More seriously, the decline... Here, I'm going to show you. I got my newspaper. More seriously, the decline of private devotion led to the spiritual emasculation of the Catholic Father. How did that happen? Well, let's keep reading. For in the spiritual toolbox of the Catholic Father were those very things that were downplayed in the post-conciliar period, that is, after Vatican II. First and sharpest of those spiritual tools was the family rosary. This has been noted at the highest levels of the Church. Cardinal Pell acknowledged that the rosary was downplayed in the post-Vatican II period with detrimental effect. The most detrimental effect of the denigration of the rosary was the role of the father in the family. The reasons for this need some explanation. It has been noted that the sacramental priesthood is analogous to the natural fatherhood, and with good reason. What the priest does spiritually for his children, such as teaching, ruling, and sacrificing, are also done by the father in natural order when he teaches and sacrifices for the family at the endless grind of daily work. Ain't that the truth, dads? Catholic dads? You got to grind all day and you got to come home and you have to somehow sanctify your family. How are you going to do it? Quote, for the Catholic Father, the role is elevated by the sacrament of matrimony into the drama of salvation in which he leads his family to heaven. So you got to grind all day, you're working all day, and you got to come home. And after dinner, you got some food in you, you feel better. You got to somehow every day sanctify your family, right, dads? What are you going to do? Preach a little homily? Nah, most men can't do that. What are you going to do? Look at holy cards? No. Make up a bunch of prayers? No. Dads aren't going to do that. Dads aren't going to do that. What was great about pre-Vatican II devotion is that the dad just said what I say, and that is, let's get the beads. Where is everybody? Kids, come on, come in here. Time for rosary. Rosary. Hurry up. Come on, let's go. Every night. See, I don't have to create a dramatic spiritual experience. I don't have to come up with new prayers, make a new devotion. You know, it's easy. Your sharpest weapon is your rosary. Now, the author goes on to say something else that I thought was good. He says, the denigration of the rosary after Vatican II emptied the Father's spiritual toolbox of its most effective prayer. This led to a crisis for fathers who no longer had a framework of popular piety with which to model Catholic life to their families on the other 6 days of the week. But not only having popular piety to buttress the paternal leadership led to a vacuum in Catholic culture and a failure to hand on the truths of the faith. So Catholic dads are taking their family to Mass on Sunday and sanctifying the day and hopefully praying the rosary on that day as well. But what about the other 6 days? How is the wife and the children, the family together, coming together, united in prayer before God? Trick question. It isn't. If there's no rosary, unless the dad is just like super charismatic and he's got, Catholic games and Catholic homilies and he's writing prayers, when he gets home from work and all that, nothing's happening. Of course, in the 1960s, we also had the advent of what? Television, sitcoms, televised sports. So the dad no longer is encouraged to pray the rosary every day. So people eat dinner. 7 p.m. comes on your favorite sitcom. When I was a kid, it was like Benson, Cosby. What else was going on back then? Cheers. all that kind of stuff. Later on, it was Friends and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that. People just sit down, flip on the TV, and now we have decades and decades of Catholic families who have not been sanctified on the daily as our Catholic ancestors did. So Catholic men, I'm shaking you by the shoulders and saying, wake up and pick up your beads and pray the rosary every day. That's the sharpest tool in your toolbox. You don't have to be charismatic. You don't have to be dynamic or creative. All you have to say is, kids, rosary time. Oh, Dad, can we just wait 15 minutes? No. Come in here, get the beads. Hey, will you pass out the beads to everybody? All right, you ready? In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Ghost, amen, and pray the rosary. And it's that time of peace, of quiet, of meditation, of vocal prayer, hopefully mental prayer, as you meditate on the mysteries of the rosary, that's sanctifying the home. That's just level 1. That's the kindergarten level of rosary. The guys in Poland, the men in Poland, are taking it up a level. They're saying, let's take the rosary into the streets. Let's get out into the street on our knees and pray the rosary together for the redemption not only of myself as a man, my family, but for our society, for our nation, and for the world. That's the message of Fatima. That's actually the gospel of Jesus Christ. You see, we need a supernatural answer to a terrible problem on planet Earth right now in 2022. Whatever your position is on Ukraine and Russia and NATO, your primary position should be a position of prayer, of kneeling, and of praying the rosary. That's what matters the most. That's putting in the time. That's putting in the prayer. So if you don't pray the rosary, you're not on the team. Wives watching this, you're thinking, man, my husband needs to hear this. Yes, he does. Share this video. First, like it. Copy the link to this video or share it on Facebook and say, husband, for Lent, I would really like you to watch this video. This is what our family needs. We need to do this. If your husband's not Catholic or refuses, sadly, it's up to you as the wife to be the leader in this regard. It shouldn't be that way. It should be the man who is the father. That's why we call priest father, because they lead the spiritual family. They're not mothers, they're fathers. And pray that your husband takes up the rosary and leads your family every day. 365 days per year. Yeah, but Taylor, what if we miss a day or we miss a few days? It's not a sin. Just say, okay, we got to start over again. Let's do it. There are situations where you're traveling or you're on business or you're on a family vacation. You get somewhere really late. It's 12:30 a.m. Rosary didn't happen. As a man, I kind of feel like, hey, I got to stay up for 18 minutes and pray this rosary for the family. I'm not going to wake up all the little kids and all that, and you just sort of do it. I understand that it's not always perfect, but for most of the evenings of the family life, it is completely doable. And if you have little kids, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, yes, they're going to be crazy. They're going to walk around. They're going to make noises. They're going to be a distraction. You just accept it. It's not going to be perfect. And maybe they need to maybe they stay for 2 or 3 decades or 1 decade, and then they go to bed. The important thing is you try every day.